Yay. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just read my point of view Mad Lib, and then we can like pick which one we want to do it with it. So mine is someone who is not tech savvy needs help learning how to set up and use a variety of technological devices because we live in a world where technology is becoming more and more prevalent and enveloping more parts of our lives. I say we do the worst possible idea for this one because I feel like there's an obvious answer, but I also see a technological solution that's really complicated. So, but I'm open to opinions.
I'm cool with worst possible idea for this one.
Yeah, let's start with that.
Cool. I guess I'll go first. The worst possible idea is like, I guess from a like technology standpoint would be to gather a list of links to like online tutorials for different types of devices, maybe.
Maybe the
I
worst
don't know, I
idea
feel like
is I'm gonna just interrupt, sorry. You finished?
no, you're good. Yeah.
Maybe the worst idea is taking it offline and putting it on paper. It's like
That was
True.
here's a piece of
definitely the
paper to
worst.
figure out technology. Like
Yeah.
they did
And
to
so I
us in
guess like
elementary school.
yeah, and
Yeah.
to address the elephant in the room, like that exists like with everything you get these days in some form, but then you lose it or it gets, something happens to it. And so that's kind of where the point of view thing came from.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
try to
there's
like
something worse is like with tons of links too, where you're like clicking everywhere and
yeah.
yeah.
Where it's
Um
like hidden behind something password protected and you don't know how to get into it and you're frustrated from the get-go because you're trying to figure out how to use a software that you can't even log into.
Yep.
Just something completely inaccessible.
Or it takes up like tons of memory on your computer and you're struggling just to download it and put it
yeah.
on your Mac.
Or your
Um
software, it needs a certain software requirement and your
true.
computer won't run it because your computer's old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Making it in like news or like article format instead of like step-by-step guide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guide.
Yeah. Anything with like tons of text that's just like overwhelming when you look at it would be
A
bad.
wall of text, no
More
photos.
text. Yeah.
Definitely.
Trying to think of anything else.
What was can you read your thing one more time?
Yeah, someone who is not tech savvy needs help learning how to set up and use a variety of technological devices because we live in a world where technology is becoming more and more prevalent and enveloping more parts of our lives. And so, if this helps, the idea or inspiration for this is like my grandma calling me every 3 days, needing help with her phone, her iPad, her printer, her Wi Fi, like all the different devices that are like very common that people have, and like giving it a go to resource for either people like her or,
Gotcha.
something
Okay.
like that. It's like a really general thing, not like here's how to set up an iPhone 12 and 13 and 14, like, nothing specific like that. But that's kind of where the idea for this came from.
Yeah. So like yeah, anything other than like a giant manual. That's the worst thing I could think of.
True.
Yeah, I actually helped a woman. I don't know how I met her, but she was an older woman in my community and I helped her learn how to use her MacBook. And I think the worst possible idea is assuming they have any knowledge of how technology works, period.
Yeah.
Because they sometimes don't. And yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah.
a good worst idea is assuming writing the instructions and assuming they know what they're even like looking at or what the device is.
Or how to double click on a touchpad and not without using a mouse.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. It's like assuming a certain level of knowledge is probably a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is saying I need to share my screen. I don't know why.
Oh. Maybe are you the host? Is that why? Maybe it's prompting you to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just like looking back at the assignment. It's like hosts should record and share their screen.
Oh. Maybe to show the Mad Lib? Point of view Mad Lib? That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, we're gonna go with it.
Okay.
Um,
And I'm kind of confused. Like, I guess with worst possible idea, are we supposed to give good ideas too and just say like, oh, that's not bad enough? So that way we kind of like get everything out. Was
That's
that like
kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like you go over all the worst and then kind of actually come up with good ideas. Because do we have to
Okay.
come up with 3 solutions for each one, right?
yes.
okay?
Yes.
So my good idea, which is very complex, is like very technologically advanced and assuming kind of like defeats the purpose of the actual Mad Lib, but like when like AR, VR gets a little more like advanced, having some type of like simple like headset or glasses that you can buy that shows you very simply how to do things. And there's like no setup for the device. It's just put it on, turn it on, and it's very intuitive. So like, and that sounds far-fetched, but it actually exists like for certain things. So that
So
was like my big brain idea.
oh, that's cool. Like a VR setup. So would you send the glasses with each like whatever
So
the product is they would get?
it would really be more, and like, so this is really crazy, but like more like public service type thing in
Okay.
terms of like you would buy the glasses or like the headset or something, and it would just include a very general guide for like most things.
Like a
Which is
database
super
of like
practical. Yeah, it's not super practical, but I could see it kind of being a thing
I
potentially.
mean, I feel like it's something that could be at your library. That
Yeah.
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 you know.
It would
So
be, I guess, be more like augmented reality. And that idea came from like when we went and did the Microsoft site visit last year, how they used the headset and we got to see them, like it showed them what to do, what to unscrew and everything like actually there.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of where the idea came from. But yeah. And I guess another idea that would be not, hopefully not that bad, but I guess doable, is having like a very simple like guide that does include general instructions that's written like for a 10-year-old essentially. So that way whoever is reading it, it's very simple. It's like the page is very like kind of like a jitterbug phone, but for instructions or for technology.
would it be like a website or an app or
Either. I mean, yeah, I guess it has to be like a digital like a technology solution, I guess. So it would
yeah.
probably be a website or an app.
Yeah, it's kind of reminding me of, I feel like we're all in the same age bracket, so we might have a shared experience with this. But like in elementary school, when we all learned how, because we all, at one point, we all had to learn how to use a computer.
Mhm.
We didn't have tablets in our hands when we were like brought out of the womb, right?
Yeah.
And like we would go into the library and our teachers would like walk us through how to click and drag things or how to double click on something. So
Yeah.
like it's giving me that, but make it 2023.
Yeah,
And so maybe some video tutorials
yeah,
where
that
the person is walking through them through the process, and that person can rewind it if they need to.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a good like a video tutorial, almost like a playlist or something. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea too.
That's all I've got
Yeah.
for now.
Same.
Gotta think of a third solution.
Third.
So we have super high tech, one that's a little more low tech. Then maybe like a middle ground combines the two. No, never
Yeah.
mind.
Well, yeah, could you do the AR headset like a tutorial, like kind of website or an app? And then I'm trying to think of like how you get the video or the video playlist on the website, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Probably those would be combined, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, what's your target age group for this? Or what would it be?
So I put specifically like anyone who is not tech savvy.
Okay.
Ideally it would be for like young technology. Like, I mean, people grow up these days, like, probably better at technology than we are, like kids do, but like probably for like the older generation, ideally, and then also like for young, like new to tech learners as well.
Okay.
Which is why I say like gearing towards like for the older generation, or even for like people like in our generation when like a family member calls who isn't tech savvy, and like I can sit here and do it for you, but I don't know how to tell you how to do it over the phone. And that's really what they're looking for, is I could pull this like website up and give you very simple instructions that are going to be really easy to follow. And like everybody can't easily explain how to do something, even if they're great at just being like, oh, here's how you do it on my phone. So that kind of, I guess, is, hopefully that helps.
What if this might be a thing you can already do when you like FaceTime or whatever, but what if you could, like, your grandma calls you because she doesn't know how to open her email on her phone. What if there was some sort of app that, like, when you FaceTime them, well, I don't know how that would work because they're holding it. I was gonna say it would like show them what you're doing on your phone.
I think you can screen share on FaceTime now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But a technology hurdle would be doing it with like video chatting with, if you're an iPhone user and like your family member's an Android user.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I was trying to think of something like where they could see it in like real time, you like doing it, even if you weren't next to them, like.
That would be interesting.
I mean, we can put it on there.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah. And maybe since it sounds like it's more going to be a resource for people who are teaching others how to use it also, or it could be.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It could be like a guide of like, hey, is this what they're trying to figure out? Here's all the steps. You need to just read them verbatim. So it's already simplified for the teacher, the teaching tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, worst idea would be just give them a piece of paper with a link. Here you go. Figure it out.
That would be rough. Does that cover 3?
Yeah, I think we can get 3 out of that.
Okay.
Because is there a chat on this? Yeah.
There is. We can chat. Yeah.
Not me needing a tutorial now. This is what I have. It's not going to make it like, it didn't go in my like bulleted list style, but that's kind of what I jotted down. Toward the end is what I got for like 3 that we could use potentially.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that works. Okay.
So Gavin, do you feel like you have 3 solutions?
Yeah, I can work with that.
Okay. So I'm just every so often checking back on the logistics of the assignment to make sure we're doing it correctly.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Kelly, do you want to go next, or I can go next?
Yeah, I can go. So mine kind of came out of like I love like outdoorsy stuff and hiking, but I don't have the like vacation time or like to travel all over the country. So I'll put in my chat the my Mad Lib. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's a nature-loving adult who lives in or around Metro Atlanta. Needs to find fun hiking trails to explore near their home because it's too time-consuming and costly to consistently travel out of state for exciting outdoor experiences.
I would love this.
I know.
This is amazing. Great idea.
I don't know which method we want to do for this one.
What were the other 2 we had decided on maybe doing?
Brainstorm and brain dump, I think.
Okay.
I guess maybe a brain dump. Do brain dump?
Brain dump's good.
Give ourselves
like that.
Give it like a couple minutes and then just write it and then just share whatever we wrote down.
Yeah, I was gonna say my idea might be a little niche, so it might be better for a brainstorm.
Oh, then do brain. Oh, yours will be better for brainstorm.
Yeah, so I think yours will be good for a brain dump since we all have a general baseline of outdoorsness.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Should we just set a timer for like 3 minutes or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna put one on the screen.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that was a feature. Wow.
I'm gonna screen share a web page.
Oh.
I was
20
like,
minutes?
wow.
Okay. Let me just be able to
Also,
figure
I'm
out how
gonna
to
eat this
share my
pizza
screen.
while we're brain dumping.
Go for it. Guys, I hate Zoom. I don't know how to do anything.
Do you do Teams all the time? I always
Yeah.
use.
My company uses Google.
Okay, okay.
I'm not a Zoom person. There we go. Start. Okay. All right. Time is up.
Right.
Okay.
Did you guys write down several or just one?
I wrote
I wrote it
down
well.
a bunch of different
Okay.
things. Sorry, let me
making
just
sure.
share that.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
I fully
Okay,
brain
nice.
dumped.
Okay. You want to go first?
Sure. So I was thinking you're looking for resources for hiking trails that are in the area. What are people actually gonna like be searching for? The main thing I wrote down was like I wrote down it and then underlined sort by distance so that you can find places like relative to where you are, right? Because like if I'm in Virginia Highlands, I don't want something that's in Canton because I don't want to go. I mean, I may not want to go up 45 minutes. It could be like I only have an hour to get outside
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
And then obviously a map. I think that's helpful. If it could link to Google Maps somehow, but that might be too fancy. And I don't know why, but I envisioned this as an app of sorts.
Me too, I think.
Okay. So I wrote down sorting by distance, the type of path, like is it paved, is it unpaved, is it like a hike, is it more of a nature trail? Cause like there's like the in-town nature trails that are more just like through backyards of neighborhoods versus like what the Sweetwater Creek where it's more of a hike.
Yeah.
Are pets allowed?
Good question.
Great questions. Parking in the area, maybe some parking resources. If it's something that is a neighborhood, like, hey, you're gonna have to park on the street, just be aware, or there's a parking lot. And then are there other things nearby that you could do while you're over there?
So that's one of the big things that I wrote down because I was like, okay, what separates this from like all trails or something else?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you like highlighted the trail and then like, oh, this brewery is right down the street or like
Yeah.
a pizza restaurant or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I circled that too because I was like, how can we separate it from something that already exists?
Yeah. But that's my brain dump.
Yeah, I like it. I also thought like location-based app was kind of what I was thinking. So that's the one that I really circled. But I also thought it would kind of be cool just to do like a blog, like a travel blog. I know it's simple, but easy. You could do like an Instagram or TikTok with it or whatever, and like build quite a following. Probably a probably like something where people can like comment and share their trails, or like maybe make it almost like some sort of like social media sort of thing. So that's what I was thinking, like an interactive blog type of thing was one of the other things. And then I took a page out of Gavin's book and thought it'd be cool to do like a VR hikes, like local hikes, and put them all in some sort of bank so that maybe people who can't get out or are trying to exercise but want to look at something other than the TV in their gym, like that would be a cool feature.
That would be cool.
But that's all I got.
Cool. So mine's kind of similar, sort of. So my first one I wrote down was to create an app that users could submit like suggestions. And I guess all of this sort of builds off of that idea and some of what Amelia said already. But I also put down that we could have like a website to match it just for different users. But either a function or the app itself could be that it sends you like randomly to a location, like not in a creepy way, but in like a very randomized, like kind of like a roll the dice, like choose your adventure type of thing. And so you're like, I've got, 3 hours to spend. I, don't want to travel one way more than 20 miles, like that type of thing. And then it just puts out a random suggestion. And then you can also like make it where like it's something you haven't done before. So that way you explore new places.
That would be like a little like gamify a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, like I said, feature of the overall thing, or that could be the main primary feature. And then I also had some like sort by features as well that I wrote down as like, do you want to see a waterfall on your excursion? Do you want it to be flat, or does it need to be hilly, like paved, rocky, dirt type thing? Do you want to have like a good like, backdrop scenery for pictures, things like that? And then I also put that we could include like a safety feature in the way that like Uber, like the Uber and Lyft safety features work. So like you have that on your phone, and you just tap a button and you're connected to somebody that like can help you.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's actually a really cool idea because I feel like it's like one of those apps you're like, oh, I don't know what to have for dinner tonight, and you can like search it and it'll like ask what you're in the mood for, and it'll like find something close to you.
Yep.
That's really cool.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I feel like I've got. Should we type in the chat the ideas, or I haven't been typing. Where's my chat thing? I'll just write down the three that I kind of, let's see. Let's see. There's three. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And they're all so different, which is what's really cool
I
about
know,
it.
yeah.
Okay. So mine is a pivot. I will type it in. And so my at Madlib is people who are interested in crocheting need a centralized resource with video tutorials, tips, patterns, etc., because they're overwhelmed by the craft and they don't know where to start. And often they'd have to turn to just randomly Googling things to figure out how to actually do what the pattern says. Yeah. And I know, yeah, I'm like this. I'm like, it's pretty niche.
That's okay. Sorry, I'm opening my Coke too.
No, you're fine.
It's interesting you put that in because I actually have been like contemplating starting something because I mean, I just want something tangible to do because I'm, I don't know. And so I looked at crocheting and stuff, but what I decided on is I went to the whatever festival they just had in Atlanta a couple weeks ago in Piedmont Park, like
Oh,
whatever
the cherry
the
blossom
Dogwood
thing.
Festival, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And this lady had a booth set up that she had it was a kit of like wool art.
Yeah.
And like you press the
Felting.
wool art. Yeah, felting. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So I bought the kit and it comes, and I haven't done it yet, but it came with like 3 little, I think like cactus things. And like the kit has everything you need. It has the wool, the tools. She gave you like her email so you could like reach out for help, and like also included like a link to like videos on how to do it. So that's
So
really cool. But I chose that instead of doing like, have you heard of Woobles?
I actually know someone who did them and they kind of inspired it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking they sell kits, but then
Mhm.
it's like, here's all the stuff. Now just figure it out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
having a space to actually do that figuring it out, I thought was helpful because I love to craft and I started crocheting specifically so I could just have something to mindlessly do while I'm watching TV. And I found myself looking at my phone so often just to figure out what a stitch was or like how to read the patterns because it's a whole different language. Yeah.
I remember I tried to pick up, I used to, long time ago, I was in sewing club and like I could sew with my machine. I
Yeah.
tried to do knitting and I was like, I can't do this because it was like every time you did a stitch, you had to like Google how to do this. So I feel this problem.
Yeah. So, where I kind of was thinking was video resources, addiction, like more like an app and a website combined that, but then when we were talking about your app, Kelly, your idea, Kelly, I was like, maybe I could just do like an online presence and just make it a social channel and make it more like an online community type thing. But, I was originally thinking like a website type blog type thing that has video tutorials for right and left-handed people.
Oh, cool.
Because I know left-handed people who don't know how to do it because all the tutorials are right-handed. I'm just writing stuff down, sorry. But that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like whatever you do, it would be good to do like an open source sort of situation so people could answer questions from other people. So it's got to be a million different stitches and right. I don't know that much.
There's so many. There's so many.
Okay.
So I could see too, like having it set up into categories. So there's a like approved, like basic, here's how to either start something, end something. I don't really know how like the ins and outs of that, but like, colloquially agreed upon, like this is how you do it, guides. And then like another category could be like user submitted, like, oh, here's a pattern that, if you want to recreate, here's how you do it. And then also bringing in the social aspect of like people can post like their creations, patterns, however that works, and people can interact with it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Making it like an online community.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. That's helpful.
And it also, I guess, like part of it would be like somewhat like approved content, but also user submitted generated content as well.
Yeah, like a mix.
What else?
Well, that's 2 ideas. I would never have thought of using user generated content in the resource. Thank you.
I'm trying to think of something else. I mean, honestly, not to like reuse this again, but we are merging media, have like, I guess part of the app could be like a I don't know if I guess it's AR. I don't really know what it is.
I was thinking about augmented reality.
In the way that you can see furniture through the Amazon or the Walmart app, you can pull the AR up, like, or the like feature function up, and like have it show you in real time or something, like, you know, more hands-on. I don't know.
That would be great too.
Wait,
It'd
that
be
would
like
be so cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes videos are hard to figure out because you're like, is that her left hander? But like, if it's actually the view right, like in your lap, you can actually see. That would be.
And it could, and I mean, thinking real crazy here, because I don't know if this is supposed to be stuff we're gonna do or that we just want to do or could do, but like have it like detect your material, so like your tool and your like yarn, like not like anything advanced, but just like see what you're working with, and then, you know, kind of like, I guess in the way that I was thinking about with my idea of like, it will show you based on what you have there, like how to get started or how to like, you know, do something. I don't know.
Yeah, or like you have a pattern, it's like connected to a pattern, like connected to something, and say you want to start, I don't know, like a coaster, and like coasters are round, and so you have to learn how to start something round versus a straight line, and it can tell you how to do that because it is a different way to start.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dang, augmented reality, that would be so cool.
That would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
Do you guys have any like augmented reality?
I don't.
Do you?
No.
Okay, I've used a couple because I have friends who have the they do the virtual reality golfing thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're big old nerds. And I got like motion sickness from it, so I couldn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I saw Apple's going to come out with theirs allegedly at their like meeting, and I feel like once those comes out, everyone's going to have them, and it's going to be.
Oh yeah, but it'll be like $7,000 for Apple to buy an Apple VR headset.
Trying to see if I can think of anything else. Do you have 3 yet, or?
Yeah, so I'm writing down the user-generated content, combination of user-generated content and provided. I'm gonna call it provided. I don't know.
Also, we have 3 minutes left.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's told me.
Okay, good.
Apparently we don't get a full 45 minutes with the basic app. You get 40 minutes, which doesn't make any sense. And then blog style guide. Okay, let's see. And then I think what we do after this is there's that. Cool. We take all 3 of our own solutions and put them on our Capstone journal.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
awesome.
Augmented reality, that would be fun. If only I could do that. So I think that was it. Go team Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Are you guys Harry Potter people?
Yeah.
I'm a Gryffindor.
I'm a Slytherin.
Oh, I'm a Hufflepuff.
Oh, look at us. Everyone's not a Ravenclaw.
But Ravenclaw, yeah.
That's very funny. Okay, let me make sure we did this right. Okay, so I will give you guys a link to the final copy in Google Drive. I guess I can stop recording. How do I do that?